Hello everyone, welcome back to Total Football Talk. So we're going to look at the latest news and transfer news coming around Manchester United. Thank you very much for joining this morning. And I've got a slight improvement on the old graphics, so we're going to try something different today. So let's see if it works. But we'll jump straight in and we'll look at the top story. And the top story is the story of Marcus Rashford and the Barcelona story. And if you just see on the screen at the minute, Barcelona are looking to apply pressure on Manchester United to contribute towards Rashford's wages to push through a loan deal. Now, I kind of spoke about this yesterday, and I had a feeling that this was going to be the case. Barcelona are pulling levers left, right, and centre to make things happen, selling corporate boxes, selling TV rights, just doing anything they can to bring in money into the club. And if they are going to bring in Marcus Rashford, it is going to be heavily weighted on Manchester United's side, as in, can Manchester United afford the wages? So it's coming out of kind of multiple Spanish outlets that Rashford is ready to accept a pay cut, and it means he can play in La Liga for the remainder of the season. Now, what do you guys think about this? Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Where are we with this? Rashford's obviously got a lot to kind of mull over here. If he is going to go there, he's going to have to drop his wages. Do you think he really wants to do that? Is that something that he's going to be, kind of like, would you give it up? If it was you, would you give your wages up to go and play the sport that you love, to try and get yourself back into the reckoning of the England team so you can potentially look towards the 2026 World Cup? Or would you just sit on the bench, write it out, take your wages week after week? Like, considering today he's not even in the travelling squad to go to Fulham today, and considering what Rubin Amorim has said before, injured players will travel down, but obviously Marcus Rashford he's being singled out here. He's being dropped, he's been put to one side. It's not actually going to happen for him. He's not gonna play. He's not gonna be part of anything. So, if you're him and you've got a desire and a love to play football, would you take the wage hit to go to Barcelona, or do you think that the Glazers, the Clinios, call them what you want, do you think that they will sanction a move where they will pay maybe half his wages and Barcelona pay the other half, just so he can, become less of a headache for Rubin Amorim? I've kind of talked about this before, but we talk about bad eggs and we talk about rotten apples, and is Marcus Rashford really kind of falling into this? He's a problem. Casemiro is a problem. I think he's a different type of problem. I think he's a man coming to the end of his career, so he's not as worried about his future. But I think Marcus Rashford's in the prime of his career, and this lad's got an opportunity now to go potentially to a massive club. But Manchester United need to sanction this. Glinios need to sort this out. Maybe they just need to take the hit and go, right, we will help Rubin, and this is part of what we're going to do to help move this squad forward, and move Marcus Rashford to Barcelona and help him out. It's the clock's ticking. Barcelona. It's claimed that Barcelona can only afford 3 million of his £7.5 million. Wages. I think this is an opportunity where we've saved some money on Anthony. We've done quite well on that deal, which is really, really surprising to get him out the door. But yeah, we've done something there. But I think now the next one is Marcus Rashford. If Marcus Rashford goes and he plays well at Barcelona, it's a win-win. He's back in the shop window. He gets an opportunity potentially for a move in the summer, and I think that is something that they need to look at. But is this a real possibility? The clock's ticking. I think there's 8 days left of this transfer window. I think it closes on the 2nd or 3rd of February. 3rd of February, is it? So this needs to really, really ramp up and move quickly. But let's see what happens. I don't think there'll be any news today. It'll probably be the start of next week, Monday, Tuesday. We'll hopefully see things start to ramp up, and with a bit of luck, the Glazers and Ineos will pull their finger out and help Rubin, because my God, the lad needs some. So okay, we'll move on to the next story, and this is a story coming out from Sky Germany, and a potential swap deal involving Nkunku. The French. He's a French winger. He's a forward. He's kind of more of an attacking player. The Frenchman's been frustrated by his lack of play time under Enzo Maresca this season, starting just 3 Premier League games. I've actually kind of looked into this a little bit, and I believe that the whole Nkunku thing is interesting because he scored 2 goals and had 1 assist. I think it's in 14 games, actually. I think there's slightly one out there. In 14 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. Is that enough for you? His injury record's woeful. He's been injured at Chelsea. He's been injured at Leipzig. Chelsea took a big gamble bringing him in, paid a lot of money to bring him in, and he's just been permanently injured. Do we need someone else sitting on the bench or in the treatment room alongside Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, and whoever else, Victor Lindelof, just sitting around having a cup of tea and a few biscuits, having the crack about, whatever was on TV last night? We don't need another player who's injured. He is a good player, but I thought he was a bit younger. I didn't realize he's kind of 27, so he's same age as Marcus Rashford. Is he a replacement for Marcus Rashford? I mean, we do need bodies on the bench. That is one thing that we do need. And he is a good player. And if he did come in, I'd back him. But I'm not sure if he's the right answer. But as a loan, if he comes in, he has to play. He has to, well, not maybe play every game, but he's got to be available for every game. But he's also not a striker. He's not an out-and-out striker. So he's more of an attacking midfielder. He can't play on the left and he can't play down the middle. He can't play on the right as well. So I suppose it does give us cover should he come in. But I actually think, is he an upgrade on the likes of Gallo that we've had before, Weghorst and all these players that we've had going on around us? Is he an upgrade on them? I mean, he probably is an upgrade on them, but only an upgrade if he actually stays fit and on the field. So I think that's where we are with that. For me, it's desperation. It's just back to the good old days of, Glazonomics, Glazers just doing what they can to bring in a player to kind of help the manager out through the short term. This isn't exactly a long-term strategy bringing in Nkunku in, I don't think. And even if he did come in and even if he did do well for 6 months, the question is, would you want him? Would you want him sticking around? Because I just feel at any given moment there's an injury waiting to happen. And I mean, as I said, we've got enough players like that. We don't need paying out big wages on someone who just cannot stay fit. So yeah, I think maybe for 6 months it's a gamble. I don't know. I would prefer them to have something else in place, but so I don't know how that's going to work. Okay, so we'll move on to the next story and we'll look at Garnacho. And Chelsea are still considering a move for Garnacho, according to Sky Sports. It's claimed that Garnacho could be available for 55 million. But Manchester United are keen to raise the funds. The Argentine is one of United's most profitable assets, but he's played the full game of the Red Devils, the win on Thursday night, and and Rubin Amorim was kind of coy about his future in the press conference. And what I will say about this is, and other content creators have done brilliant stuff, people to check out. The United Stand, Mark Goldbridge did a brilliant piece on it. Terry Fleurs in the Football Terrace has done some brilliant stuff on this as well, some brilliant reporting. And what I will say is, the nuts and bolts of it are, it boils down to one thing. They've got to sell Garnacho to meet PSR issues for next year. They're not selling them because he's a talented player that they think they can get a lot of money for, that they can kind of rejuvenate the squad for. I don't believe that. I actually believe that this money is going to be used to pay off debt, and this is ridiculous because we shouldn't be selling young players to pay off debt. We should be, if we are going to sell young players, we should be selling them to bring them into to bring that money into the club to fund and buy more quality, as opposed to paying off the debt, which is on the Glazers and on any of us bought into the club. They knew what they were buying into. The Glazers have destroyed the club. They knew what they were doing. The club's still on its knees. Is there a financial way out of this? We have to service a debt next year of 60 million. Funny enough, that's exactly what Garnacho's kind of rough figure is. So that money comes into the club. I'd be very surprised if that money is reinvested in new players. And that doesn't include Dogru at the minute. There is money set aside for that potential deal. What I will say about that particular deal is, it's a joke. We're talking about paying 40 million euros for a left back, a left wing back in a Lecce team that's struggling in Serie A. They've never even sold a player for more than 25 million euros, and yet United are looking to potentially buy him for this. I spoke about it yesterday. Disgrace if they actually go and spend 40 million. I don't care whether it's in bonuses or not. They have got to figure out how to be able to negotiate to get players at a decent price. Not this paying over the odds. And as I said, will the weight of the jersey be too much? Can he come in? Can he adapt? Can he get hit the ground running really, really quickly? Difficult for the kid. I'll back him, I'll support him, but it's not going to be easy. And then, as I said, that money's already accounted for, but we're just going to squander more money. And it's not like we're ever going to sell him for more than 40 million euro anyway. So we're essentially just going to be squandering more money if we bring him in. I just so frustrated with the way we just throw money around. It's ridiculous. And then finally, the last couple of little bits of story, we'll just kind of swiftly go through these. We've got confirmation that Ethan Wheatley is going to go out on loan, and we've also got confirmation that Ethan Wheatley, really good striker, is going to go out on loan, and we'll get some minutes hopefully, and that will be brilliant for him because I think the kid actually has a lot of potential. But like he needs time. He needs to play at that higher level. So I think fair play to him for going out there. And then the last story is the one I kind of spoke about yesterday. The young centre back Jack Kingdom is also going to go out on loan. Ethan Wheatley looks like he's going to go in Walsall, and Jack Kingdom's going to go to Rochdale. So I think for their development, that's really, really important. And hopefully those kids can go out and perform to their highest level and potentially either come back to the club and serve us really well, or probably what I imagine the Glazers and Ineos will do was they'll go out, they'll perform really well, and they'll try and just sell them because that just seems to be the way forward at the minute. Sell your youngsters and just carry on with it. But and forget about all the traditions of Manchester United. I get it. We sell youngsters. City do it. Chelsea do it. They do it amazingly well. We are probably going to have to do that to circumvent these financial issues that we currently have, which are on the Glazers and the Ineos, who are just crap at everything that they do at the minute. Well, not crap, but maybe that's a bit too far. I mean, they've done an okay deal with Anthony. They can't get rid of Rashford. They can't get rid of Casemiro. They can't sell any of these players. Players are going to walk in the summer. Not because Ineos are getting rid of them, but the likes of Lindelof are just going to walk out the door. Action are going to walk out the door because their contracts are up, and it's going to make like, oh, we've got rid of them. No, we haven't. They've just walked, and yeah, we've cut the wage bill that way, and we'll sell some youngsters. But anyway, enough of that. It's Fulham today. Let's hope we can go out there and get a result. If you've got anything to drop in the comments, please fire away at me. And what do you think? Are we going to win against Fulham today? We're going to get a draw. I take a draw now, but we do have a good record down there. So maybe, God, with a bit of luck, we can nick a win. But, give me a draw now. And I'll take that. And we'll run with it. Okay, guys, thanks very much for listening. I shall see you on the next one.